The matriarch and sovereign chose Eden, the perfect ecotope, as our home, and devised the paradigm as a great way to maintain it.
Appeared right out of the aether, just as I imagine our proud sentinels do. Like, here I am, your innermost thoughts are known to me, and nobody once hears from you again. Caught me reciting passages from a beacon to the cosmos, illustrating my steadfast fidelity. All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign. That part always hits me directly. To quote my personal log, an essential passage, rightful and true. Charlton Weintrott.
They sneer at our contentment.
Everyone knows the paradigm.
Me? Moved to Fair? Why, even if it was still held by our proud protectorate, I've been assigned here. Everything is in its proper place within the paradigm.
Human societies were constantly out of balance. Individualism.
Would a true ally speak so plainly? Or coolly remark with some cryptic double entendre? Straight talk seems more the province of hidden agents, savvily angling to trick somebody. If you were a Sentinel, or in some Sentinel-adjacent role, I'd of course be honored to have you inspect my belongings. Unfortunately, my house is currently besieged by Crabbles. In any case, back to it.
We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is nutritious and plentiful.
The Outlander I spoke with before. What brings you back around? Did I? Not again. Oh, this? It's a birthmark, skin condition, both, about which I am rather sensitive, thank you very kindly.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty.
Say, you are every bit you seem, yes? Thoroughly on the up and up and in no way a hidden agent? It is widely known that a sentinel is required to stand revealed before rendering judgment. Why, a plot point about that featured prominently in the latest episode of I, Red Cloak.
A pleasant atmosphere and rich natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex.
Say now, no need to get tough. You saw through my ruse, fine. Others in Westport fail to perceive my true nature. I am hardly one of the herd around here. A reference you'll no doubt recognize from those keen Auntie's Choice commercials.
Glorious bounty for all. Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise.
Ha! The same ones I immoderately reference. You likely guessed their influence right off, what with my assertive attitude and all. I laugh at danger. I hand make my own luck. That character is a revelation. You and I are just like him. Get up and go-getters. Say, did Auntie's Choice send you here? Don't fret, I am exceedingly skilled at keeping secrets.
Do our part to maintain it. Keep doing your job with pride. Keep informing on your neighbors. Same as ever.
If I understand the subtext, that means yes. Dearie me, you are the first secret agent I have ever met. At least in waking life. Now, do tell. What is the latest word from the field?
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them.
Really? What was he like? Bold? Assertive? With a wildly obstreperous theatrical air?
Under protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have
An audacious proposal. Yet this place, despite its recent humidity, remains comfortable and familiar.
sabotage and/or manipulative indoctrinatory falsity.
With a full case, I might gorge upon such sweet goodness morning, noon, and night. All right, hand it over. Oh, but what would vigilant Hogarth say? What would everyone say? I can scarcely imagine it. Abandoning my community only to satisfy my gastronomical urges and risk-taking attitude? No, I couldn't leave unless Hogarth ordered everyone to go.
Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance.
I'd say so, but I'm not some highly skilled subversive type or some such. You are. I'm certain you can find a way. Somehow.
Suffering, poor dears didn't have the firm, benevolent hand of the sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life of contentment.
Almost missed the
and
routine
plenty.
certitude of my assigned profession.
Purpose, time for recreation. We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is nutritious we have appreciated all and thank the sovereign.
From the lowliest subject to the most vigilant, we must protect.
Flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, rich natural resources represented fascinating meticulously designed produces glorious bounty for all. Natural
Standing by with life support.
or sprint. Typical predicament for an anti-bottom runger like me. Wish I never snuck in here to begin with. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Nah, it was a great idea. So much stuff for the taking around here. Motherload of loot. Plenty to get me back in the sprat race. Just didn't account for all these crabbles. Real fly in the old ointment. I could just sit tight, live lean off all these supplies, hope the crabbles skedaddle, or maybe open the door and bolt. Seems like a good idea. Nah, it's a great idea.
From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Look who's back.
The major
You're thinking about side bits. There is little difference between the gifts the Protectorate provides for us and the paradigm.
the native flora and fauna,
Outsiders need side
atmosphere, and rich natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex ecological network. The matriarch working with and through the sovereign devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty for all. Sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive.
You returned.
Don't know what we'd do if we didn't have you and the Vigilant looking out for us. Well now, that should do nicely. Thank you. Hope those crabbles didn't give you too much trouble. I recognize these patients require more care than I'm able to provide here. Seems like in Fairfield, I can get them the help they require. The one last additional thing we'll need is for Vigilant Hogarth to agree to it. It's less a concern about disloyalty, and more my respect for his abilities. He's a skilled leader, and we could sorely use his aid, from coordinating logistics to keeping up morale. I'll surely have my hands full with my patients. His presence on the journey would save lives. See you when I see you.
Trust the plan, source set progress, sustain the system, serve the Sovereign.
A fine quote. My favorite is, we must rout all disruptive factors and invasive elements.
was sad for a moment because my house got submerged in the flooding. But then the wireless told me everything was splendid. Now I feel much better.
We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together. Perfect thoughts? Go now.
Yeah.
Greetings. It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you to Westport, once a shining testament to Protectorate excellence, now a picturesque example of the evils of corporatism. But where are my manners? We do not have much, but please let me offer you some victuals. Tut. I insist. Serving Unit 1. Something for the visitor at once?
Confirmative.
Perhaps you're wondering why I'd open my arms thusly for a stranger. Simple. As the guiding light for humankind, we always put our best foot forward, regardless of circumstance.
Resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm benevolent hand of the sovereign to guide.
I believe something still can be done. This town can be saved, its people given a reprieve. Were we to acquire the one thing vital to our existence: automech parts. What?
Comestibles served.
We of the Protectorate pride ourselves on our mech programming. Among the vigilant, it is even considered something of a sport. We are not miracle workers, however. Without parts to work with, we've no hope of remaking our mechs to do tasks beyond their initial functions. We need repair mechs, domestic mechs, not combat ones. Serving Unit 1 here is about as much as can be accomplished without replacement parts.
To the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as
We are of like minds. We lack not the skill to do so. Our wily chief mechanist can reprogram the mech, but not without parts. Unfortunately, we lack ready availability of said parts.
ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch, working with and through the sovereign, devised the paradigm.
Oh, you failed to hear the loudspeakers on the way in? The announcement we're obliged to repeat incessantly. Well, allow me to paraphrase. Protectorate law finds us guilty of treason on account of letting Westport fall prey to Auntie's choice saboteurs.
Can unbalance even the most robust ecosystem.
Well, obviously, we've forsaken our duties as members of the Protectorate. It is incumbent upon us to fight to the death, yet we still live, as does our enemy. Now, either the Arbiters arrive to execute us, or this place falls under the vapid boot heel of Auntie's choice. No matter who wins, we cannot sustain ourselves here for long.
Keep informing on your neighbors. Same as ever. But prudence dictates.
My linguistic embellishments are somewhat beside the point. This here's a matter of accountability. Responsibility was mine. Disgrace and judgment should be mine solely as well. My intention is to absolve my subjects of any and all such blame. I owe it to every single person here to try.
Under Protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows.
Of course. Abandon every last ideal to climb the rungs of the corporate ladder. A trifling matter to be executed with an insouciant air.
Well, it's either that or die here with all dignity tossed asunder. Be smart. Take the deal.
Nobody needs go anywhere. Not when we can still save Westport. We of the Protectorate endure as one, regardless of any hardships we must face. I have the aid of key pillars of our community. Several persons of note and good character who stand with and by me. And our town still functions. Our automechs are still running, mostly. We have a generator to power them, fresh water, the reassuring voice of everyone's neighbor Prudence wafts from our loudspeakers.
Individualism ran rampant. Depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm, benevolent hand of the Sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden.
I don't know. Look, I've entertained these fool notions of yours long enough. There's no use pursuing such a fruitless line of thinking further. I have a brighter future in mind for Westport, one you can help with, in fact, rather than dwelling on dark maybes and scenarios of worst imagining.
Nutritious and plentiful. We have everything we need. Prudence dictates we take a moment to rightly appreciate it all and thank the Sovereign.
Oh, I thought you weren't interested. Well, I suppose I have little choice in the matter, circumstances being what they are. Now look, if I can return the settlement to a reasonable facsimile of its previous glory, sufficiently functioning by employing mechs reprogrammed to repair and rebuild, the Arbiters might see fit to penalize only me, commute the others' sentences, allow them to maintain things around here in the spirit of continuity and such.
The pleasant atmosphere and rich natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex
Hence my use of the term reasonable facsimile. It's a gamble, no arguing that. But anything else is simply giving up and waiting for the end.
meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty.
What sort of payment do you seek? Don't imagine we have much you need.
We know how invasive species can unbalance even the most robust.
Enough to lead and inspire those who work there, once at least. I was previously the ranking vigilant on this island. Why do you ask?
Though don't fret, the system is resilient. The system abides. But
I don't know what an Earth Directorate is, and I'd thought we were past the need for being coy, but fine. I'll extend you my trust, as a show of good faith. In exchange for the automech parts we need, I can provide you means to get inside. Never dream of such a proposal in days of reason and quietude. Yet such is the here and now we find ourselves in. Wonderful. My unavoidable march to the gallows feels lighter already. At least now my subjects will have a fleeting chance. The parts can be found at the Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center to the south, but do not, under any circumstances, tell those stationed there why you need them. To get inside, you will need an access pass from the Ministry of Accuracy. Since we have all been marked as traitors, I cannot create one for you here.
Due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative.
Farewell now.
Have time for a chat, Commander? This is a delicate situation. You reckon we help folk here get back on their feet? Or do what the Minister asked?
everyone knows the paradigm epitomizes the pinnacle of social order. Why? Because
Well, if we help Westport, the Vigilant has promised to get us into the box. Folk here could rebuild their community. Maybe. But it's only delaying the inevitable, if you ask me. If we convince these folk to join up with Auntie's choice, they can start new lives away from the protectorate guillotine. They'd be grateful once they see what we got on offer. Plus, the Minister's deal was clear. Do this, and he'll tell you how to gain entrance to the Vox. So you'd still get what you're after. The whereabouts of DeVries, right?
we all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life of contentment and plenty.
Come on, Commander. Westport's damn near underwater, and the Protectorate are claiming everyone they're in to be traitors. Barring some mass change of heart, it's a matter of time before these folk get struck down by their own. The Vigilant seems a decent enough sort, but he's just one man. You want to give these folk a real shot at living? Send them to Fairfield.
Rightly appreciate it all and thank the Sovereign.
You got it. Let's start conversating. The sooner we know how folk really feel about living here, the the sooner we'll know who to butter up.
Vigilant. We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Ah, the itinerant stranger returns.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem.
Nobody needs go anywhere. Not when we can still save Westport. We of the Protectorate endure as one, regardless of any hardships we must face. It'd have to be catastrophically obvious this place was doomed, and incontrovertibly beyond my means to save it, before I'd even consider such a recourse.
A meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part...
When I look outside, I see people who are hardy and resilient, who trust the paradigm, who understand prosperity will return with time and group effort. What all of us need most here are those auto-mechanical parts. Now please, make haste retrieving them. Parts can be found at the Euphoria Coast Auto-Mech Repair Center to the south. Remember, do not tell anyone there what you're gathering them for. Now, please, make every possible haste. Everyone's lives here, save mine, depend upon it.
Doing your job with pride. Keep informing on your neighbors. Same as... ever.
Mental refreshment centers are there to help you. Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts.
Void me if I understand any of this. DeVries sold us out for what? Because of a few equations? Some dots and lines on a graph? Good fucking law. I mean, she wasn't a damn scientist. She said it herself. She didn't understand all of it, the math. So what was she thinking? No. No. You didn't know her. Not like I did. Like I thought I did. Damn it! I never wanted to talk about this. I wanted to just leave it alone. Told myself, no point in dredging up the past. Should have known it wouldn't rest. DeVries may have saved me on Triangulum, but I wasn't the only one looked up to her. Lots of the other recruits talked about her too, back at the academy. What? Say it. Feel better? You got that off your chest? Oh, Commander, your brain pan's empty. If you think I haven't gone back through Horizon Point 1,000,000 times over, doing things differently. But we were talking about DeVries. We all thought she was the pinnacle of what an agent should be. Tough, smart, ain't a job she couldn't get done. And better and faster than everyone else. Inspired all of us. It's embarrassing now. How much worship we all put on her name. You put a tool in my hand, I would have built monuments to her. Figure my own career could be just that. Doing for others what she done for me. Never imagined I'd actually get to work with her. Me, some nobody from Triangulum. And then she betrayed us. Tried telling myself it was an accident, but now we've got the cold, hard proof it wasn't. Law only knows why she trusted the Order's numbers.
Natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex
This looks like the place. Oh, I haven't felt this high-strung since Horizon Point. Just hope he's here.
Niles.
Howdy, Zed. You look... well.
Has my mind been set upon by shadows? I thought you dead.
Can't imagine why you think that. I've only been gone 4 years.
Oh, back from your little saunter then, are you? Head all cleared? I must say you took quite the perambulation. I hope you didn't wear out your rotation adapters.
Zeb, this is the commander I told you about. One in charge of the Horizon Point mission.
So you're the one responsible for the severity of Niles' injuries. You ordered him to remain behind on a fruitless recovery effort. I never did perfect my bedside manner. So, you are keeping company these days. Just not mine.
Hang fire, Commander. Look, I'm not just here to gas you up with empty apologies. I want to set things right between us.
Oh, now you want to help. Where were you when the war happened? Or when I was being carted off to mental refreshment? Where were you when I actually needed you?
Reckon I've got this, Commander. No need to bring in the reserve just yet. I know I let you down before, but give me a chance to earn back your trust. There must be something I can lend you a hand with. I know you haven't given up the fight.
I haven't the time to patch your bleeding conscience, Niles. I'm in a situation that demands my full attention.
It's Baines. My team's been caught. Pharaoh and March are dead. Protectorate are holding the rest for interrogation. A ship is inbound to take us off-world, to the Consul himself. I barely managed to evade capture. Damn it! It looks like the data went through, but there's something wrong with the connection. The cipher isn't transmitting.
Found her! You there! Step away from that terminal at once!
Audra! Fuck! It's all coming apart.
I knew something was wrong. What have you gotten yourself into here, Zeb?
That was one of my operatives. I organized the mission to infiltrate the Vox to acquire valuable intelligence. But obviously, something's gone wrong. Without that cipher, the intelligence is worthless. But I'm more concerned about my people at the moment. If you're sincere in your desire to help, prove it. Rescue my friends before that ship departs with them on board. Please. It has to do with the location of a vault rumored to house the Protectorate's greatest technological advancements, including its skip drive designs. That's all I'll say for now.
I am. Without question.
Okay. If they're sending a ship, that means my people are being held on the Vox's landing pad. Use my call sign so they'll know you for an ally. I'm certain Niles remembers it. And do exercise discretion, as well as caution. The guards at the Vox won't hesitate to fire upon you, should you be discovered.
Not to worry. This is exactly the sort of thing we're trained to handle.
Yes, but the uniform doesn't stop bullets, as I'm sure you recall.
Good thing we know a doctor then.
I'll answer what I can. The Crabbles? They keep people away who might otherwise stumble into my operation here. I feel kindly toward them. Ah, of course. Hogarth and his unfortunate charges would be top of mind if you've explored the nearby settlement. I sympathize with the plight of those in Westport. They want nothing to do with me, of course, or anyone outside the Sovereign's grace, which has been to my benefit. I do believe that one day, the truth of the Protector's iniquity will be too obvious to ignore. But for now, not even a crowbar could pry open all those shut eyes. Stop there. I know what you would ask, but I've done my best to put that unpleasant experience behind me. Please respect my wish to avoid reopening closed wounds. If you must know, it was my sister. A neighbor reported her for some misconduct, and she was taken to be refreshed. I never heard what her alleged crime was meant to be. The woman who returned was nigh unrecognizable. The injustice of it rattled me. And once I began to look into what had happened, the more discomfort I felt. Then I met Niles. He told me the truth about other colonies. Made Arcadia feel so small, claustrophobic, repressive. And my smoldering resentments became a full conflagration.
Seeing Zeb again went different than I expected. Not that I had high hopes for tears and confetti, but damn. Understood. You won't catch me slacking in reverie. Not whilst there's still a colony to save.
Must be at least a few usable parts in here. Aha! Ah, it's warped. Just like everything else.
Hello there. You wouldn't happen to have found any usable parts in all this debris? Westport's stockpiles of replacement parts are nearly depleted. I need to find some parts to convert some of our automechanicals. Non-combat parts. Fortunately, there's nothing here that's salvageable. Auntie's bombs sure take their toll, don't they? Unless I missed my guess, this looks like it was transporting damaged and malfunctioning automechs from the Vox station to the Automech Repair Center to the south of here. The center is... Say, you don't work for Antes, do you? This is beginning to feel more than a little like you're digging for intelligence. Fair enough. As I was saying, the Automech Repair Center is south of here. Regrettably, subjects of Westport no longer have access to the repair center, hence my need to scavenge. Let's just say to fill Westport's needs. If you follow the road heading north, you can't miss it. Used to be a sight to behold, but the war hasn't been kind to it. To any of us. True enough. A few years ago, I couldn't have imagined us running short of anything. And now here I am, digging through scrap for parts. But I digress. Was there anything else? Need to get back to my hunt, you understand? Yes and no. The bomb certainly took a fierce toll, but I suspect these were all in various states of disrepair even before Anti's offensive, which has made sorting out where to begin my efforts here rather difficult. There should be a manifest somewhere, but it's nowhere to be found. Nor are the troopers who should have been escorting this. Where are their bodies? The only species in these parts that would pose such a threat to an armed escort squad would be crabbles. But the guard at Westport has always made a point of culling them with automechs so they don't get out of hand. Well, yes, they're one and the same. Ah, I see your point there. Not so easy to cull crabbles without operational automechs. Likewise. And please inform me if you happen upon any usable parts.
Unfriendlies.
goes there?
By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here?
Now you've done it. Slowing down a ranking protectorate official is worth 10, 20 demerits if you're lucky.
All right, let's not lose our heads over a simple misunderstanding. You're free to pass. Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new arrivals personally. We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight. Oh, and fair warning, watch out for uranium gas. We sprung a leak. How observant of you. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero tolerance for lawbreakers.
Outsider? Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it.
All that matters is getting these automechs to the Vox relay station.
But Marshal, we must adhere to decontamination procedures.
What in the name of the architect? Oh, right. My guards told me to expect a new arrival, right before our chief mechanist decided to harangue me with the latest on our catastrophe.
Marshal, you're acting as though I'm not standing here auguring the impending doom of this facility.
Woodrow, normally I would be obliged, nay, happy, to receive your senseless jawing, but not today. Perhaps this outsider can assist where you've failed. I hope you've come to help, because a crisis is bearing down on us, and I've a dearth of reliable hands with which to manage it. You see, Woodrow, why at this rate, we'll have the facility up and running in little to no time.
That's what scares me, Marshal.
Like you, me and my consternated head technician are new arrivals, though we may not last long if we fail to repair the uranium leak. I wouldn't have put it in those terms, but I appreciate someone who speaks their mind. The Vox relay station needs our automechs. But until that leak is fixed, this facility is a target for the sport of Auntie's armaments. Delphinia Bryant is working on a prototype uranium shield. Whoever uses it will be less disposable and more useful to the Protectorate. That's the spirit. You've got gumption, nerve, and daring do. Almost reminds me of myself.
Marshal, those automechs have been corrupted with uranium. I can't even cogitate on what they're capable of if we lack the time or resources to approach this rationally. Should they go berserk, we may well be turning the very subject you intend to resupply into their victims. We'd be branded as traitors.
Then perhaps you had better explain to Brigadier Montelli why his defenses are grounded. And you can do so personally, in the comfort of his office.
Montelli? I rescind my objection. May the delicate workings of the paradigm point us toward a better way.
There's a good fellow. Cleave to your loyalty, and it will never steer you wrong.
Greetings, potential customer. State your business. This unit was engineered to facilitate management of supply inventory at this installation.
Oh, this is surely exciting. Someone is finally trying out my automechanical quartermaster. Show them what you got, quartermech.
Command not understood.
Huh. I thought that would have put it into sales mode. Best look into that later. Please, give it a try yourself.
All wares should be perfectly visible already.
Sorry, it tends to take things too literally. Maybe try phrasing the request differently.
Lull detected. Conversational status uncomfortable.
Does that one compute, big guy?
Affirmative. Initiating commerce is one of this unit's default commands. Initiating commerce.
Oh, unfamiliar clientele. I was just lamenting the lack of new faces around here since supplies stopped arriving. And then you walk in. Name's Hazel. I'm sort of the acting quartermaster around these parts. You need any supplies, talk to my friend the quartermech here. Quartermaster automechanical or automechanical quartermaster are a mouthful no matter how you spin it. And I despise inefficiency. Excuse the mess, by the way. Auntie gave us a pummeling a few weeks back. The old wardens paid the price. Where their courage faltered, a little mental refreshment should do just the trick. This is the Protectorate, after all, where perfection is achieved through discipline, not mercy. Now what'll it be? You'd think that a fully stocked automechanical repair center would have automech parts, and 9 times out of 10 you'd be spot on. Trouble is, a bunch of supplies went missing recently, right around the time the quartermech completed a routine inventory. As a matter of fact, yes. Recently, when the crates by the wall got too high, it began stacking supplies on the catwalk above.
Protectorate automechanicals feature advanced construction but low adaptability. Fall-throughs in its logic assembly would likely lead it to interpret its programming literally.
Logic can be a funny thing, you understand. One misstep can have the most peculiar results. Doubtful. Zeranium affects their aggression in targeting subroutines. Basic instructions would still be functional. The quartermech is my responsibility. Claim whatever parts you require from the missing supplies, and we'll call the matter settled. Delphinia's lab would be the place to search. We use it for storage, and our records indicate the supplies were present and accounted for. Are you acquainted with Delphinia? She's a scientist on loan from the Vox Relay, helping with the Zeranium leak and all. Delphinia? No. I doubt she stole what I would have given her freely. Best of luck in your search. Let me know if I can be of assistance. See you soon, I hope.
Give me a sec. Almost done with this work list. Another sealant failure, amplifier requisition, and 2 more cases of Zeranium exposure. We're a mite bit busy these days. You'll want to see the quartermaster. She's right next to the gate you entered through, under the marshal's office. She'll only be able to sell you our surplus, but you might find some of it useful. Hazel should get you sorted right quick, assuming she has the parts. She's right between the barracks and the main gate. Can't miss her. The Marshal is under a lot of pressure to deliver automechs to the Vox Relay Station, but I'm responsible for their quality control. If even a single automech steps out of line, it will be the end of me. Zeranium-corrupted automechs open fire on Protectorate soldiers, and I end up in the darkest bowels of mental refreshment. No, we wouldn't. The Marshal is a good man, but he values speed while I value accuracy. Neither of us is wrong, but in this case, we both can't be right.
Apologies, but an automechanical's work is never concluded.
Outsider?
First the attack, and there's uranium. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
Oh yes, I adore interruptions. I was just saying, what's best for stoking the spark of invention? Regular disruptions to one's train of thought. Now, what is it you want? Now that you mention it, there was one particularly insistent little mech who kept trying to put all manner of bric-a-brac in here. After several firm remonstrations, I told it the interior of this building is off limits while I am working here. Didn't see that peculiar little scamp again after that. Quite busy, as I said, and less pleased for this unscheduled work suspension. Now, did you have some business here? Ah, our good Marshal sent you, did he? Well, unfortunately, the device is taking longer than expected. A number of factors. Zeranium is dangerous, and we wouldn't want a researcher falling victim to their subject of study. The scarcity of volunteers is also a problem. Everyone wants to fix the gas leak, but no one wants to step inside a hazardous vapor. Now tell me, are you familiar with Zeranium gas? One and the same. That building took the brunt of the damage during a recent attack, and now it's spewing valuable Zeranium all over the place. I could speak at length about Zeranium's many captivating intrinsic qualities, but suffice it to say, in its gaseous state, it's rather deadly. So what am I endeavoring to create? A protective device that shields its wearer from Zeranium's remarkably unsavory effects, as well as other forms of harm. Quite splendidly, if I do say so myself. The principal function of the device is confirmed operational. I merely need to work out some minor implementation concerns. Alas, while I'm occupied with inventing this shield gadget, I also find myself in need of assistance regarding its key components. Good, good, wonderful. As an added incentive, I'll allow you to keep one of the prototypes once the work is finished, so you be sure to give it your all. Now here, you'll need this apparatus. It's for collecting stray Zeranium effluvium. Gas, that is. My supply is running low from all the iterative testing I've been performing. Merely activate the device once it's inside a Zeranium cloud, the one around the main hangar specifically. Try to avoid any fields of dense Zeranium, or death is all but assured. Any questions? Normally, yes, but on the off chance that environmental exposure has altered the gas here in any way, I'll want to work with local samples. Ideally, the resulting shielding will protect against any gas, but since it's of utmost importance that it work on the gas here, I'll be calibrating against that. Well, of course, obviously. To that end, I'd suggest choosing a cloud of lesser density for your collection efforts. Lower chance of near-instant death that way. If you suffer prolonged exposure, assuming you survive, see our local medical officer next door. She is highly preoccupied by the treatment of Zeranium-related maladies. I believe that covers all the necessary education for this particular assignment. Oh, so exhilarating to have a new subordinate. I look forward to thoroughly scrutinizing your work. Now, shoo-shoo! Off with you now! Gather those samples! Shoo!
Auntie's choice and the Protectorate got a difference in opinion. The Protectorate believe they can't be bloodied. We think otherwise. Got something that needs doing, Commander?
My little minion. I trust you've made progress in your tasks? Oh, it's really quite fascinating. It projects a field that protects the user from all manner of dangers. Kinetic force, electricity, thermal spikes, you name it. The technicians here used it to shield themselves from the Zeranium gas that was barring entrance to this facility's primary repair structure. A job well done, if I do say so myself. Well, I do still have my initial prototype lying around, but it's highly unusual to share confidential Protectorate technology with just anyone. That being said, I'd be willing to lend the prototype to a supporter who generously invested in furthering my research for a reasonable contribution. As you wish. Should your willingness to support crucial research seek an outlet, I'll be here. Oh, how entirely novel. The exchange of goods or services for currency. Well then, here it is, your prototype. I assure you it will be worth every bit. Did you need anything else? Until a more convenient date and time. Commander, I think this stuff is treating my lungs from the inside. Were you successful? I have tests that can be started immediately if so. What did I tell you? Perfectly safe. Either that or you tolerate Zeranium poisoning like a champ. Good for you. Should you suffer from any lingering symptoms of contamination, visit the medical center and they'll get you squared away. Now, on to business. The device already generates a field exactly as specified, albeit on a very small scale. Still, progress is progress. What's needed now is something to help extend and shape the field around the user. Capital deduction! Where have you been all my career? You'll be pleased to learn there's one right here at the facility, in the Dragoon that's patrolling just outside. You guessed correctly. Our chief mechanist was rather hostile to the idea. So you may have trouble getting your hands on the catalytic amplifier. I'm sure he's just being cautious. Should Auntie's choice attack us, we don't want to be caught defenseless. No doubt he also seeks to retain an unspoiled automech, since the others are by now riddled with Zeranium poisoning. Dragoons are a mainstay of our military. The design has been in production for decades. I had a model of one when I was young. All children did. You must have seen the large automech patrolling the interior grounds. That is the Dragoon. Good. A flexible mindset should behoove you on this task. Perhaps the chief mechanist will prove more receptive to your request. Failing that, be prepared to exercise creativity if needed. One last thing. The Dragoon must not be harmed. Not only would the amplifier likely be damaged, but we'd both be summarily executed, assuming we survive the firefight that ensued. Well, off you go. Shoo.
Yes? She and I have been over this 100 times. Please understand, the original staff of this facility were rounded up and refreshed because they couldn't safeguard a protectorate asset. Why should I follow their example by reducing our sole working Dragoon to a pile of unpatriotic scrap? I can't. I won't. That's a fair point. It's not as if they've come back to finish the job. Perhaps they assume we're already beaten. All right, how's about we get the Dragoon situated over here, so I can extract its vital organ? One catalytic amplifier as agreed. I hate to lose another Dragoon, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Not a chance. Donaldson has done everything in his power to get this facility online. He can't blame me for doing the same. Be seeing you, stranger.
Well, any closer to obtaining the catalytic amplifier? Oh, superb! I'm almost tempted to ask how you managed it. But pressing on, just a moment to remove what I need and install it in the prototype. With this gadget, you'll be shielded against more than Zeranium, you know. Damn near everything, as long as it's charged. Now, report to Marshal Donaldson, if you please. He's rather impatient to end this crisis so he can turn his focus back to the war. Don't thank me. Just doing my part for the sake of the paradigm, same as anyone.
If you need something, kindly make it quick. You'll want to see the quartermaster. She's right. She'll only be able to sell you our surplus, but...
Welcome. Glad to have you back. All right, I admit it. The quartermech still needs work, but perfection requires iteration, as the Marshal says. While he's under construction, come to me for any supplies you might need. Glad to hear it. Any progress? Not what I'd call conclusive evidence. This facility recently caught a blow to the chin, and I don't recall if a loader bot was among the casualties. Still, there may be more to find. Interesting. But what connection do you perceive between this behavior and the disappearance of the supplies? Oh, that would be consistent with its faulty logic. And here I thought I had debugged every contingency. I believe we have our answer. Check the roof of Delphinia's lab. I'll wager that's where you'll find the missing supplies. Don't be a stranger.
brings you to this fine establishment?
Caught a piece of shrapnel during the attack. What about you?
Uranium poisoning. Only a mild case, but the doctors are withholding treatment to study my symptoms.
Sovereign's mercy. How do you feel?
Downright privileged is how I feel. Sick with pride, nauseous with courage, and chronically fatigued with honor.
Oh, a new arrival. Ah, and what's this? You, I dare say, are exhibiting clear signs of Zeranium exposure, stranger. Fortunately for you, you appear to have a fairly mild case. I imagine you haven't even noticed any symptoms yet. If you'd indulge me, I have a few questions I'd like to ask, for medical posterity, and so on and so forth. First question, can you describe the conditions in which you were exposed to the Zeranium? Ah, another assistant. Should have guessed. I suppose I should be grateful for all the data she sends my way, but I do wish Dell would think more of her collaborators' well-being. All right, next question. How are you feeling? For instance, do your bones seem noticeably softer somehow? Have you observed any sterility on your way in? Or aching in your thyroid or spleen? Somewhat vague, but entirely understandable. As a token of my appreciation, allow me to provide you advanced Zeranium therapy of the highest possible quality. There, that should do it. Do stop back in if you suffer additional exposure. I would love, be pleased to act as your consulting physician again, should the need arise. Oh, gladly. I've rather dedicated my life to researching its unique form of matter. What would you like to know? Total avoidance is best, but try to get out of the Zeranium as quickly as you can if exposure becomes necessary. Zeranium is a crystal. Even in its raw form, it generates energy, but once refined and stored in a quasi-gaseous state, its output increases exponentially. Zeranium is found in a liquid state as well, but it's far too hazardous and inefficient for our needs. Refined Zeranium is used to power nearly all major Protectorate technology. It's an amazingly efficient power source. However, it's also highly unstable and must be mined exceedingly carefully. Even minor bumps or jolts can cause Zeranium crystals to explode. Zeranium in its default crystalline state poses two risks. First, it's extremely volatile, exploding with an immense burst of energy if upset in any way. Second, Zeranium crystals produce a small amount of gas, which we think helps stabilize its crystalline lattice, but that's just a theory. In this gaseous state, Zeranium is quite hazardous, breaking down organic matter through a mechanism we still don't quite understand. The concentration of the gas is a critical factor. A person could remain in a light haze for several minutes, whereas a dense cloud can kill near instantly. Anyhow, I could talk about this all day if I let myself. Hope I haven't bored you unduly. Was there anything else I could help you with? Don't have much to spare, but you're free to have a look.
for their assigned work. Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law.
Look who's back.
Under protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you
Literally everything I own is underwater. What do you mean? Everything we have belongs to the sovereign. We own nothing. But surely the protectorate will provide anything we need. Of course they will. Doubt is a tool of the enemy.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Everyone knows the paradigm epitomizes the pinnacle of social order. Why? Because the matriarch herself designed it. And a sovereign embodies and executes on it. Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance. Individualism. Ran rampant. Depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm benevolent hand of the sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life of contentment and plenty. Community, purpose, time for recreation. We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is nutritious and plentiful. We have everything we need. Prudence dictates we take a moment to rightly appreciate it all and thank the sovereign.
Trust the plan, preserve set progress, stay in the system, serve the sovereign.
A fine quote. To the most exalted vigilant.
Town water tanks got all sort of needless warning labels on it. Avoid placing harmful irritants inside.
I think it's meant to stop me from dropping my father-in-law in there.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem.
Glad the wireless told me that I'm happy and everything's splendid. I was tempted to feel sad after the ocean flooded my house.
Natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch working with and through the sovereign.
Prudence dictates that we watch our neighbors, but I may just invite him over to make it easier.
Where, if each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty for all. Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive species can unbalance even the most robust ecosystem, like those nettlesome raptidons, or the base individualists within Auntie's choice. Though
Welcome back.
the system
The itinerant stranger returns.
but now, more than ever, we must all do our part to maintain it.
Pshaw! I've no desire to speak of the current state of Fairfield, no less the Auntie's choice riffraff controlling it, or worse, any traitors who have flocked to their side. Why, I cannot fathom any of my people or I even contemplating defecting the Protectorate, let alone for that cesspool of inanity.
Gray gone astray?
Because we of the Protectorate believe in something. We dream, we aspire, together. Auntie's choice would replace amity and purpose with want. The endless, empty pursuit of nothing. But in the end, what I care about most is my people. The only thing they need, that all of us here need, are those auto-mechanical parts. I would thank you to make haste retrieving them. Well, look who it is. What is it? Speak your mind. That is most excellent. Please, hand them over. Yes, we had what you outsiders call a deal. I promised you a means past the bridge and a way inside the Vox relay. There is wreckage from a crashed ship traversing most of the expanse. With the right equipment, the path will lead you directly to the Vox relay's main gate. Tell me, do you already have Protectorate jump boots in your possession? That's what I knew them as. The official title is Personal Plasma Thrusters, I suppose. No, but we have an outpost up at Spire Grove. Requires a lot of cliff work. They likely have a prototype there. I'll prepare a writ of conscription to allow you entry to the Vox relay. While most would refuse my authorization, the sentry assigned to the gate once lived in Westport. Sentry second-class layman. Show the writ as proof I have conscripted you into my employ. Use it to press service on my behalf, and she will let you in. Once you're inside, there's someone else you should show it to. You do that and say what I tell you. It'd save many lives. I can't offer you anything for it, but you've proven yourself sympathetic to our cause. Consider you a compatriot now. I'm counting on you to do right by folks here once more. Hopefully, you'll return afterward and find Westport thriving, all on account of your efforts. That is the only reward I'm able to offer.
Because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora.
The Vox relay is, to my mind, a time bomb. Brigadier Montelli's lost his way. Now all manner of chaos is raging there. I've heard tell he's even resorted to extra-legal executions. Madness, I tell you. A brigadier doesn't act as judge, jury, and executioner. That's an arbiter's job. And even then, they're enforcing existing Protectorate law. Why, isn't it obvious? As vigilant, I was his commander, and without my guidance, he was lost. All manner of chaos seems to be the order of the day at the station. Executions done in the service of order are an unfortunate necessity. Done at the whim of an individual, well, that's just one more depravity Antes has wrought upon us. A true subject of the Protectorate lives and dies by their ideals. There is another who I am sure feels the same way. Marshal Corbin. As with all my subjects, I have been there when he needed me. I trust we can call on him now to do his part. Seek him out at the Vox relay, conscript him with the writ, and this is important. You must convince him to kill Montelli. Corbin will want to talk him down, to take him into custody, to message superiors outside the facility beforehand. We cannot allow any of that to happen. If Corbin becomes the highest-ranking officer alive, no one will be able to contradict his accounting of events. The Protectorate execute connivers and schemers. Corbin must appear forced to take down Montelli in the moment. It cannot feel like a plotted coup.
Individualism ran rampant. Depletion.
Good, good. Here is the writ. I may not survive to see what occurs, but I trust you to follow your conscience. Farewell now. Promise you'll return here if you can, to check in on my people and see how they fare. Nobody needs go anywhere, not when we can still save Westport. We of the Protectorate endure as one, regardless of any hardships we must face. it'd have to be catastrophically obvious this place was doomed, and incontrovertibly beyond my means to save it, before I'd even consider such a recourse. Well, that's what's commonly referred to as your opinion. Farewell now.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject. To the most exalted vigilance. Under more than 3 atmospheres of pressure.
No, Jackson, don't! Don't fret. With these boots, I can fly! Jackson! Jackson! Twitch your broken legs if you can hear me, Jackson! Oh, law. I can't believe he jumped that way.
Sir, I know this isn't the time, but are they gonna put us to the gallows for this?
What? No. That ain't how we operate in Auntie's Choice, Liza. We might be looking at a pretty fierce demotion for losing half our workforce and getting stuck up here, though.
Demotion to fertilizer?
No. Now cease your jawing. This ain't the time. Hey, you! You down there! Would you mind checking on our fellow? Might he have survived the fall? He thought those boots would make him fly, but they really just allow the user to jump repeatedly. Unless their downward velocity is too great. If so, well, You see what happens. Not nearly as upset as we are. We've been stuck atop this machine since Ida, one of our new Protectorate acquisitions, had her gray matter scrambled by the height, jumped down, and landed right in its gears. I admit it looks bad, but please don't tell me you're filing a complaint. I didn't ask for these Protectorate sods. They were assigned to me.
That's unnecessarily hurtful. But I understand why you're lashing out.
No. I mean, yes. Well, maybe. Probably. I'm fairly sure Jackson thought the boots would work. A mistake likely inspired by misbegotten faith in his old way of life. But Ida... I can't fathom no sensible motive. She joined us shortly after Auntie liberated her with the freedom of meritocracy, and she seemed happy enough.
Were you not listening? She said she'd always be a loyal subject. It was part of the endless inculcation we endured in the Protectorate. It can prove insurmountable for some.
The notion that she'd sacrifice herself, even after seeing the vast possibilities in staying alive and climbing the corporate ladder, it's just impossible to cognize. There ain't no way off this platform besides jumping, and you've seen how that ends. But you being down there makes you uniquely qualified to help us. The reason Jackson tried using those plasma thruster boots was to gather a piece of machinery we'd spotted on a little table halfway up the spire.
It's a drive overloader. If we install it, we can push the platform's arm hard enough to... well, to grind old Ida out of the gears.
Though the power of that overloader will deluge the system and, well, overload the drive and burn it out all permanent-like. But desperate times and all that.
So if you were to use them boots to bound up the spire and deliver the overloader to us, we'd avoid the tragic fate of our 2 former cohorts. What? It's your duty as a subject to...
No, Liza, remember, you're not Protectorate anymore. So, what have we talked about? A duties only.
Discharged if the disbursement is dutifully deserving. Right. Sorry, I'm just a little flummoxed by being stranded up here.
So, bits, stranger. We'll give you bits if you get us down before we starve. Poor Jackson wasn't raised in the Protectorate with a mind for science, and mistakenly thought the word thrusters meant he could fly. So he jumped the opposite way I told him. They're experimental. We'd not laid eyes on them before, but the data we found with them says they were actually designed to let people hop their way up the spire. If you activate the plasma thrusters when you're already airbound, they can give you a fair bit of extra boost. It should let you turn a quick hop into a surprisingly grand vault.
Thank the Sovereign... thank you, stranger. We are eagerly anticipating a long life utterly absent of starvation. You're by our crop of Brachythecium rotamulum. They're found in bandages and burn tinctures. If you don't have that drive overloader, ascending may be a waste.
That's it? It was that easy? That was some impressive climbing. Poor Jackson could have learned a thing or two from you. Starting with the right direction to jump, I suppose. Wonderful. Get us down, and I'll happily compensate you in accordance with standard Auntie's Choice urgently improvised extortive standards.
We've certainly found our way into a most harrowing circumstance, At least I'm glad I'm not alone. He hadn't been here terribly long, so we weren't particularly familiar. Like me, he was also former protectorate. But he was not raised in Fairfield, so we'd never met before. Still, he seemed like a friendly, kind sort. Albeit a headstrong one. I'm sorry he's gone. Please do hurry. I've lost count of how many meals we've missed, but it is closer to many than a few, and we're starving.
Oh, thank the law. I never thought of myself as a vertiginous sort, but being trapped 100 meters in the air will make you reconsider.
I mirror that sentiment, to be certain. In fact, Auntie will have to pay me triple if heights are to be involved. And isn't it grand to be in a system that allows me that freedom?
What do you mean, You're already getting our urgently improvised extortive rate. Oh, that. Of course that's why you deserve extra. Apologies for forgetting. I was overcome with relief. Here's what I would have paid already, with a little extra on top.
Itching to hunt down that skeleton crabble or wrapped it on Matriarch. Almost as much as this damn limb is itching at me. Law, it hurts. Got something that needs doing, Commander?
Auntie's choice makes a cream for it.
I've been bartering with the defectors. Traded one Borst rocket for a whole tin of prestige Borst loaf. Straight up.
And?
I got a raw deal. Did you know those slackwits don't even fry their meat products? It's like eating a soggy dish sponge. Wouldn't feed that crud to a stray Kanan.